We're going to be working on our dry cooking methods. We're going to start to get into chapter 4. Hopefully, optimistically, I'm thinking you read chapter 1. You're in the process of reading chapter 2. You have looked through chapter 3, maybe chapter 7, and now you're getting into chapter 4, because that's where we are. Right? So if you aren't there, we should probably plan on doing a little reading, over the course of the weekend. But we're going to be starting to cover chapter 4, and that's the bulk of what we do. It's about cooking. Right? So part of that are flavors, ingredients, how we build dishes, how we build menus. But also cooking techniques. And cooking techniques, just right along with knife skills, are like the foundation of what we're doing. You can grab the 6 most expensive ingredients in the world, truffle and whatnot, and put them together on a plate, but if you overcook the chicken, what good is it? Right? You can't do something simple like cook rice. Well, what good are those 6 craziest ingredients? So it all comes down to cooking techniques and executing them properly. So, it's fundamental, right? It's fundamental. And, it's at its most basic level. That's what you need to do. You just need to cook it properly, right? We're going to be going through all the cooking techniques and demonstrating some dishes with those. You will actually get to see a recipe done in front of you. Right? I don't have a recipe for this dish, but it's being done in front of you, and every ingredient that's going in is being told to you. So you can easily jot this down, and now you have a recipe, and now you can go home and practice this cooking technique. Right? The things that I will do are not using any crazy ingredient. You can see right here what we have. It's very simple. We're executing very simple recipes here. But it's all in how we do it. Right? So we don't have much here besides we got some potato, zucchini, carrot, asparagus, orange, lemon, lime, tomato, olive oil, balsamic vinegar, cornmeal, cream, Dijon mustard, brandy, a chicken, and a piece of fish. Some fresh herbs, and some spring greens in the refrigerator. That's it. So there's nothing that you can't find, anywhere else. Right? So I'm going to tell you the dishes we'll be doing, so you can jot those down, and then you can, as we're going along doing each dish, you can start putting it together. Okay? So today we're going to be working on saute, grill, and broil. They're the techniques we're going to do: saute, grill, broil. Saute, grill, and broil. So we're going to be doing a sauteed airline chicken breast. Sauteed airline chicken breast. Anyone remember what the airline chicken breast was from Esposito's?
The wing.
Right. Well, not the bone out of the middle so much. An airline chicken breast is going to be mostly boneless, but that first wing joint, right, coming off the breast, the first one, we leave that attached. That's an airline chicken breast. Okay? So we're doing a sauteed airline chicken breast with a brandy mustard cream sauce, tournade potatoes, carrots, and zucchini. You guys started tournaying? How'd that go?
Terrible.
Train wreck.
Takes practice. It's going to be frustrating. I'm going to offer you some tips in how to do it.
You said tournade what?
Potato, carrot, zucchini. Potato, carrot. Biggest zucchini I've ever seen. Next technique is going to be grill. And we're going to do a grilled, boneless, skinless chicken breast with a fresh tomato sauce, grilled polenta, and asparagus spears. Grilled polenta and asparagus spears. Fresh tomato sauce, grilled polenta, and asparagus spears. Boneless, skinless chicken breast, grilled polenta, and asparagus. All right, next one is broil. We're going to do a broiled tilapia fillet with citrus butter and green salad. Broiled tilapia fillet, citrus butter, greens salad.
Green salad?
Green salad, mixed green salad, spring mix, whatever you want to call it. So all the things in those three dishes that I just gave you, we're going to learn how to fabricate a chicken, right? So I'm going to show you how to break down a chicken, turn one breast into our airline chicken breast, turn the other breast into a boneless, skinless breast, separate our legs and thighs. We're going to learn proper sauteing. We're going to learn proper pan reduction sauce making. You're going to see how to tourne vegetables. You're going to see how to proper blanching and refreshing, grilling, how to make polenta, proper broiling technique. We're going to learn about compound butters. We're going to learn how to make a vinaigrette, how to dress a salad, and a little bit about plate presentation, all in those three dishes. Okay? Any questions?
No, chef.
Thank you. All right. So, me favor? Into the back kitchen. About halfway full of ice, please. So the first thing I'm going to do, guys, is really all my prep work, right? All that pre-preparation stuff that we talked about. That's what we're going to do first. Okay? So we're going to kind of get going on that. One of the first things I want to do is I want to do all my knife work, but I also want to make my polenta, because our polenta is going to chill a little bit and then get grilled at the end, right? So I want to do some of my prep work first. I'll get my polenta going and chilling, and then keep going from there. Okay? So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start prepping some of my vegetables, and I'll get my tornadoes out of the way. That should be fun. This huge zucchini here. So, and it's all about mise en place, right? Getting yourself set up. Hopefully I have everything I need. peel everything first. See that?
Nice catch.
Cat-like reflexes. Okay, I'm going to need a few tornade vegetables each for our plate. I'll probably have 2 of each on the plate. A little color would be enough of a starch veg for our portion. I know it's a little not very exciting watching me peel, right? Is there something to learn here? How I'm doing it? All right, you want to try to be as efficient as possible, right? I like trying to get as much of the vegetable in each pass.
So those are the potatoes you want, sir, now?
Yep.
So why are you filling them, sir?
Well, what am I going to do with the trim?
Use it for stock?
Get rid of it.
Not stock, but I can make mashed potatoes out of them. I can make hash browns out of them. I can make a potato croquette out of them, right? If they have the peel on them, what am I going to do with them?
We'll make mashed potatoes.
Sure. And maybe in the at home, and when you're doing rustic, peel on mashed potato, but not in any fine dining restaurant. You're not leaving the peel on. And if you have the peel on for hash browns, right? So taking the peel off, just going through that little bit of effort, 2 minutes to peel vegetables. 2 minutes to peel vegetables, then I have a use for all of my trim, right? Okay. Throwing up my carrot, so got my waste. My potatoes are in water. Why is that? Right, oxidizing, right, turning brown. Potatoes, white vegetables, have flavone in them, and the flavone is what oxidizes. Okay, so I'm going to, I guess, start my, let me start my potato first so I can kind of warm up. Right. I use a paring knife to tourne. I mentioned to you guys about the egg, right? Using an egg to practice. Anybody do it? Work? Right? It gets your wrist into that motion of curving, right? So what you want to do, you need 7 sides. I don't really worry about counting the sides initially. All I'm looking for is getting that basic football shape, right? So that's where I start. Now, I don't have much room for error here with this potato, right? So I gotta make it count. So from end to end, right? I want a nice smooth motion, end to end. So I start here, I go up, and I come around. Start up and around, right? That arc that we're looking for. But one smooth motion end to end. If you stop and start, you might as well start over, right? And that's going to give us a nice smooth side, that one fluid motion, okay? So right where the last cut leaves off, I try another one. One more, taking off a little bit, working my way around, okay? I don't want to come in at too much of a straight angle to the potato. I want to try to maintain that arc. All right? Thank you. I'm working my way around. Okay. And as you get smaller, you're going to have more sides come in. Flattening out each of my ends. Okay. Once they get warmed up. Okay, so end to end, not even worrying about how many sides, just starting where my last cut left off. I learned on a paring knife, and it's just what I always use. And what I do too, I'll do half the vegetable like this, and then I'll turn the vegetable around. So I get nice uniformity on each side. However I do it, I can't get, I don't have a uniform, it'll look different in hand. So I flip it around just so my end to end will come out uniform. You notice as I'm doing it, one side is skinnier than the other. So I flip them around just to get that uniformity. I learned on a paring knife, and you know, that's what I do. Take a little bit more off. Flat ends. Okay. So if I look at my other, there somewhere. Okay. I want to be sure they're similar, right? If I put two on the plate and one is a lot bigger than the other, well then, you know, I've got something wrong there. So just trim a little bit more off. Again, smooth end to end. Okay. So now we're closer, right? And we'll do one more. So now I have a bowl full of potato trim that can be used in any way I need it. It's kept in water, it's nice, fresh, still white, no peel. Whoa. Now I probably could have cut this potato in half and went from there. It's a little large. I don't know if you guys can see how I'm doing it, right? How I'm holding the knife. You know, I'm right up on the blade, right? To give me most control. If I'm back here, I got a long distance here, right? So I'm right up on it. This hand is holding the veg, thumb, fingers, and my thumb braces against the potato here. So I'm dragging it like that. Okay. So, go fishing on the other one. So now I have 3 potatoes, fairly close in size. Enough that once they're cooked, they're going to be very similar, right? 3 potatoes. Okay, real quick, do a carrots. And carrots are the toughest, right? Carrots are the toughest. It's a very hard vegetable. So it makes it very difficult. Okay. Bowl for my trim, my carrot trim. Gonna go right in there. What can you do with your carrot trim?
Make a puree soup.
All right, soup. Carrot would go in the stock. You know, pureed carrots, sauce. And a carrot is requires a little more effort, right, to get through. Be able to crush cans with your hands after doing tournate carrots. And as you're practicing these, you know, your hand will cramp, you know, if you're doing a lot of practice with it, if you're not used to using those muscles. Okay, what'd that take? 45 seconds? Not that I expect you guys to do it in 45 seconds. Possible, right? Anyone ever see a Chinese chef Martin Yan and hear of him? Saw him debone a chicken in about 15 seconds. Pretty cool. You guys I can't even tie my shoes in 15 seconds. Debone a chicken. So this piece of carrot, it's a little skinnier, a little harder to work with. There's that cramping I mentioned.
Chef, do you cook like that at home? A lot.
Doing this? No. No. You know, I'll make sure, you know, if I'm doing vegetables, they'll be cut nice and uniform, so, you know, they cook evenly and that kind of thing, but I'm not doing tournée vegetables.
I mean,
Yeah.
so what about your plate at home? Do you plate?
Sure, sure. It looks better, it's going to taste better, you know, that kind of thing. I just have it too, you know. But, you know, I may not have, you know, it garnished or anything like I would, you know, in a restaurant. So with our zucchini, we don't want a kind of complete tournée, so to speak. If we just tornade this, even if we split it in half, we're going to lose that green color. And the inside of the zucchini is very soft, and it's going to kind of fall apart as we get to there. So what we want to do is basically take the outside and have almost a half of a tournée, utilizing that green part, right? So it won't be completely seven-sided around. We're going to cheat a little bit. And that's just for our presentation, you know. Okay? So I'm going to start with a quarter of a zucchini.
What do you do with the rest of that?
Well, you can be pretty creative in what you do with it. Say like zucchini bread, vegetable fritter. If you're making veggie stock, well, the zucchini can go into that. In veggie stock, you don't want like every vegetable in there. You know, some vegetables like bell pepper we don't want in there because they're going to be bitter and that kind of thing. But you know, most veggies that we can tournée, we'd want to use in a veggie stock anyway. Okay? So you see how basically we have that shape, you know, and outward appearance, all right, you know, it's football shape and, you know, tournée-like, but when in actuality it's not really, you know, rounded, seven-sided like that. Okay? And we want this, you know, same roughly size as our carrots and potato, right? We don't want one big zucchini on the plate. Especially if you were doing like a breakfast, lunch, dinner thing, and you know, you had the zucchini scrap. You know, definitely making a zucchini bread for a brunch buffet, something like that. That's what I used to do with it. For brunch, we make zucchini bread out of it. And like I said, when I think I mentioned when back when I was a cook and we had zucchini squash and zucchini, carrot, and potato tornado on the menu, every cook would just be sitting at their station tornadoing vegetables when we were, downtime waiting for orders and whatnot. And you'd just hear water, veggies dropping in water. This one's a little bit big. We'll trim up a little bit. That way we have that green color. Okay. So now my tornado vegetables are kind of ready to go. I'll get my carrots in shape. Let me get my polenta going on. So in my pot here I have some chicken stock.
How much would you say?
I have a quart, 1 quart of chicken stock. And I'm going to take some of it out for my sauce.
This is for the sauteed airline grilled chicken.
Yep. Okay, so I'm left with 2 cups. I took 2 cups out. Okay. And we want to get that going, bring that up to a simmer. I have some salt. We're going to salt that stock. Use some parsley for our polenta. And I'm going to use some parsley in some of our other dishes. So I'm just going to do a bunch of it real quick. Right? No sense doing parsley twice. Notice, guys, that I have a piece of paper with what I'm doing right next to me. So I can kind of keep myself on track, be mentally organized. I know what I'm doing next, that kind of thing. If I were doing, a new demo, something I haven't really done, hadn't really done that often, I would probably have a timeline as well. Say my parsley stems, they can go in the stock. So I'd have a timeline, step by step, what I was doing. What I'm going to do first, second, third, fourth, all the way down the line. In something like a culinary competition, if we have 75 minutes to do the competition, I'll have 75 steps drawn out and taped right to the table. So just like a map. That's what I do. It's like following a recipe. Right? Very easy. So, I'm going to take my leaves. I mentioned yesterday I'm not a big fan of just hacking parsley to death. Right? I'm going to take my leaves, I'm going to kind of stack them on top of each other. And we're going to roll them up a little bit. What's that cut called?
Chiffonade.
Chiffonade, right. So take our parsley leaves, just roll them up tight. Okay. My knife, I'm going to get them as close as I can. Nice little rocking motion. And we want to make sure we're slicing, not just coming down on it. All right, nice little slice. And using that guide hand.
So when you're cutting, are you literally pushing your hand over with somebody?
You want to let that knife move your hand. Not kind of consciously like, okay, I'm going to move my hand back. But just apply that pressure and it's going to move your hand back. Does that make sense? Okay, my stock is came to a boil. I'm just going to keep it at a simmer until I get this done. And nice little rocking motion. Using that guide hand. Letting the knife push my guide hand back. If you just beat this parsley up, like just came down on it with the knife, what's going to happen to it?
Lose a lot of flavor.
Well, you're going to lose some flavor. It's going to wilt, right? It's going to bruise, just like lettuce will if you chop lettuce like that. You know, it's a delicate little herb. You know, if I hit you like that, you're going to bruise. Same thing, seriously, same thing happens to the lettuce, right? So a nice little slice like that is going to keep it fresher tasting, fresher looking. It's going to stay nice and green. It's not going to bruise or wilt on us. All right, moving along. I mentioned we want to grill our polenta, right? So we're going to want to chill it. If you remember from orientation, right? When we make polenta, it'll be at a soft state. We can then chill it and it will firm up. Okay? So I want to chill it. So I have a ring mold that I'm going to use to chill that. I want to grease it just so I get less sticking on my mold. And where I sit the polenta, I'm just going to throw a little butter down. Okay? That way I have less sticking. And I'm going to use a slightly smaller mold. I'll make two just to be safe. And I'm going to want to finish my polenta with a little butter. And you can use a little cheese as well if you like. So I have cornmeal here. I've seasoned my stock. It's ready to go. Okay, nice little simmer. I'm going to take, with our 2 cups of liquid, I'm going to take about a cup of cornmeal. Nice little thin stream while whisking so we don't have any lumps. All right, this is a pint container, so about half is a cup.
That's just going in the water, right?
Pardon me?
Just going in the water.
Stock, chicken stock.
And then 2 cups of chicken stock.
2 cups chicken stock, that's correct. So as that hits the liquid, it's going to start to thicken. Okay, we want to crank the heat down. Now, I sometimes think cornmeal gets cooked too quick and gets pulled off too soon, doesn't get a chance to really hydrate and allow those little grains to absorb that liquid. So I think I cook it a little longer than most, maybe. Okay, you just want to keep it moving. Okay, I'm going to keep it on the grill because it's a little lower heat than I can't go too low here. That's as low as I can go. So. I'm going to blanch my vegetables since my water's boiling. What do you think? Do I throw all these in at the same time? Right? They're not going to cook the same, right? So my densest, my hardest vegetable, carrot, I'm going to throw that in first. It's going to take the longest, that's correct. Salt in my water. It should be salty like the ocean salty, right? Not just a little pinch. It needs to have a good bit of salt in there if it's going to make its way into the vegetable, right? So salty like the ocean salty is what I always say. Okay. So we see our cornmeal get nice and thick, right? Yep, Chef, we see it.
Yes,
We're with
yes,
you,
Chef.
man. We're with you. You know it's early. Okay, so I want to give it a little taste at this stage to see what we have, right? See if our it's cooked long enough. Carrots going in.
What kind of cornmeal is that? Plain cornmeal?
It's regular cornmeal. And even at this stage,
That was yellow, right? Yellow cornmeal.
yellow cornmeal, yeah. Even at this stage, we don't need much salt and pepper because I seasoned that stock. Okay. So from here, throwing in a little bit of parsley. I'm going to work in 2 tablespoons of butter. And like I said, you can add cheese to this. One of my favorite to add is mascarpone cheese. Really nice in risottos and polenta. Okay, we're going to throw a pinch of black pepper. Just a little pinch more of salt. We're looking pretty good at this stage. I'm going to get my polenta into my molds. This one's a little smaller, so I can go a little bit higher with it. A little tiny palette knife, right? I'm just going to wet it so so it doesn't stick. Just going to smooth out the top of my polenta. Make sure it's nice and smooth, nice and uniform all the way around, right? You don't have a lopsided polenta cake. And we're going to chill that. good breakfast here.
Yeah.
Tastes like grits.
It's grits, same thing. Different size, different size grain, that's all it is. One a little larger than the other, but. Okay, carrots are cooking away. Potatoes going in next. And we'll save our zucchini there. Good idea to start carrying a spoon around with you. Never know when you need to taste something. Okay. So our asparagus, right? Asparagus. Thin on this end, thick on this end. The thick end is going to get very fibrous, very tough, right? They say wherever the asparagus breaks, that's where you should use it, because that's where the tough part starts, right? Some of these little woody parts, we just want to quickly shave off on a, and this is pencil asparagus, right? It's very thin, like pencil size. On something much thicker, you'd want to peel a little bit more, obviously, right? Think we could use these for anything?
Yeah.
Sure. Soup, vinaigrette, sauce. They just require a little more work. Okay, so very, you can see I'm not barely taking any of the peel off. Trash. In my trash bowl. And asparagus. Water boiling. Asparagus is going to go in. Zucchini is going to go in. I'm going to start trying to test my vegetables for doneness. I'll grab my carrot. Okay. Needs to be tender all the way through. It's going to be cooked a little bit further, so we don't need it ready to go, right? Asparagus,
How long?
till it's done. That's the answer, right? We leave it in there until it's ready to go. So, not to be sarcastic or anything, but that's it. Think about all the variables we have here. Size of the vegetable, the amount of water, the amount of heat, the time it's in there. They're all variables that are going to affect how long it takes to get done. Asparagus, very quick. All right, we just want it to start getting, whoa, back here. Start getting tender. We're going to grill that further. Our zucchini coming out right into the ice water. Asparagus into the ice water. Blanch and refresh, right? I'll let those go a little bit more. Okay. So these going into the ice water. I just want them to get cool, stop cooking, right? Make sure they're not hot, pull them out. I don't want these to get waterlogged, so we're going to pull them out. As soon as they cool down, we got really nice ice cold ice water, so it doesn't take long for them to go down. Notice the nice color we have now, right? Here's what it looked like going in. That's what it looks like coming out, right? Nice. We can retain that nice bright color. pull my carrots out. Potatoes are just can get my knife through. They're coming out. Carrots, nice bright orange. Our potatoes, still nice and white. Okay. Next thing I want to do is, I mentioned a compound butter, right? On our fish, we're going to use a citrus butter, right? So we're going to make this compound butter. And a compound butter is basically a flavored butter. Okay? So I'm just taking probably about, we're going to take about 2 ounces of butter here. And how much is this butter? How much, what's it weigh?
A pound.
Pound of butter, right? Half a pound, 8 ounces, quarter pound, 4 ounces, and so on. Okay, so I got a little butter in there, and this is better at like a nice room temperature. Potato's still a little hot. There's some steam coming off of it. So I've got citrus here. Orange, lemon, lime. Now, I'm going to show you guys something. It's called the supreme of fruit. Supreme, spelled like Supremes, right? Diana Ross and the Supremes, right? In the orange, we have the peel, the pith, the zest. The zest, below the zest is the pith. In there is the fruit. In between each segment of fruit is pith. We don't want the pith. We just want the fruit, okay? So we want to segment this fruit. First thing I want to do, though, for my butter is I'm going to zest it. And this is a microplaner, right? Microplaner. It's just a fine zester. And actually need a new one because it's wearing out. It's not as sharp as it used to be. But I'm taking off just the outside colored part of the peel. Can you smell it yet? That peel has oils in it. And that's where that aroma, actual flavor, comes from. Those oils. So a little orange zest. I'm going to take a little lime, same thing. Right back there. Smells great. Smells like a mojito going on. Okay, a little lime zest, a little lemon. Okay, you're going to have some zest stuck to the microplaner. Just rub that off into the dish. Okay. So we have zest in there. I'm going to add a little bit of parsley. And add a little salt. A little pepper. Now I want to add a little bit of our citrus juice, right? So you get more juice out of
When you roll
citrus if you roll it, press it a little bit, roll it. Okay? And what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut a little bit off each end. Okay? And then I'm going to cut away the peel. Okay, following the shape of the fruit. Okay. So we see we have the lines of pith in between each segment of fruit, right? Using your paring knife, you're going to go down one side of the pith and then down the other side of the pith.